Shanti, Shanti. O Lord, your gospel is like nectar and bliss showered upon the pain-stricken lives of suffering humanity. It dispels all the sins and misdeeds of life. It brings spiritual welfare in life. The spiritual beauty and prosperity and grace spreads through and through one who listens to your holy message. They are the real givers in the world who preach and pronounce the nectar of your message to the suffering humanity. Om peace, peace, peace. So we are back to our reading of the Gospel of Ramakrishna. You can sit one step. One. That yes. I can see him. So we are reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. We have started to reread it. Only the first visit of M we read the other day. The first read. Now this is the M's second visit. M's second visit to Ramakrishna took place on the southeast veranda at 8 o'clock in the morning. The master was about to be shaving. The barber having just arrived. As the cold season still lingered, he had put on a moleskin shawl, bordered with red. Seeing him, the master said, "So, you have come. That's good. Sit down here." He was smiling. He stammered a little when he spoke. Sri Ramakrishna to M. "Where do you live?" M. "In Calcutta, sir." Sri Ramakrishna. "Where are you staying here?" M. "I am at Baranagar, at my older sister's, Ishan Kaviraj's house." Oh, Ramakrishna said, "Oh, at Ishan's. Well, how is Keshav now?" He was very ill. M. "Indeed, I have heard so too, but I believe he is well now." Sri Ramakrishna said, "I made a vow to worship the mother with green coconut and sugar on Keshav's recovery. Sometimes in the early hours of the morning, I would wake up and cry before mother, 'Oh mother, please make Keshav well again. If Keshav does not live, whom shall I talk with when I go to Calcutta?' And so it was that I resolved to offer her a green coconut and sugar. Tell me, do you know of certain Mr. Cook who has come to Calcutta?" It is all Ramakrishna continuing. "Is it true that he is giving lectures? Once Keshav took me on a steamer, and this Mr. Cook too was in the party." M. "Yes, sir, I have heard something like that, but I have never been to his lectures. I don't know much about him." Sri Ramakrishna. "Pratap's brother came here. He stayed a few days. He had nothing to do and said he wanted to live here. I came to know that he had left his wife and children with his father-in-law. He has a whole brood of them. So I took him to task. Just fancy, he is the father of so many children. Will people from the neighborhood feed them and bring them up? He is not even ashamed that someone else is feeding his wife and children, and that they have been left at his father-in-law's house. I scolded him very hard and asked him to look for a job. Then he was willing to live here." So this is a conversation going on. It's very simple. M came second time in the morning 8 o'clock, and that is the time the barber in India, like barber shop. The barbers come to the home and they at a time serve how many people are there available. And they make a time. And for Ramakrishna, he used to make a time. Our Belur Math also, there are a barber constantly there because so many sadhus. Someone needs saving, someone needs... so all the time, old sadhu, young sadhu. So that's a job is there. So here, that is the scene, and aim appeared, and so Sri Ramakrishna said, "Oh, you come. Okay, sit down." And then he started talking. Where you live? He lives in Calcutta. Where are you here now? His brother, sisters, family lives in nearby Dakshineshwar. And he says that Keshav Sen is known to Ishan, the elder sister's husband, whose name is Ishan, and Ishan is known to Sri Ramakrishna. And he is inquiring about Keshav Chandra Sen, the great Brahmo leader. And what he said? He said that Keshav has actually made Ramakrishna popular because he was a writer and he has a magazine and he was a Brahmo leader, very respected that time. So he actually wrote about Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and he was very much impressed with Sri Ramakrishna. So he's talking about that. And when he becomes sick, Keshav Sen becomes sick. So Ramakrishna said, "I prayed to the Divine Mother and offered some green coconut and sugar." Coconut is coconut water, but normally for mother they give green coconut and sugar. You also should drink coconut water, not only coconut water, it should be added with some sugar, otherwise it will be little acidic. That is the tradition. So when they offer to mother, but Sri Ramakrishna is offering to mother. For what purpose? We offer, no? Other people, normal people offer to Ma Kali and say, "Ma, give me a job. I am offering you this coconut and sweets and fruits." No? Ramakrishna also is offering sweets and, not sweets and fruits, but at least what you call the coconut water with sugar. And saying, "Ma, please cure Keshav. If he does not, he is not here. If he dies, then whom shall I talk to? If I go to Calcutta, there is nobody who understands me." Keshav can understand, actually. That's why he promoted Sri Ramakrishna to such a degree. Some say Keshav's idea, Keshav was a Brahmo. Brahmo means like a Christian idea. They do not believe in worship of the form. That's why in Gospel you will find again and again, do you worship form or formless? This question comes again and again. Because that time all the young people influenced by the Brahmo movement, they used to do practice. They don't think of God as form. Ma Kali, Durga, Shiva, these are all idol worship. That idea was there. Only Nirakara, formless, and Saguna, with guna. That concept of God was accepted by them. So, but when Sri Ramakrishna used to go to Calcutta and meet him, and Keshav will listen to every word with rapt attention, and he used to interpret them in perfect way, which others miss them. So that's why he's saying, if I go to Calcutta, to whom shall I speak if I don't see him, and if he does not get cured? That's why, and he's talking, Ramakrishna gives all this information. One Mr. Cook has come and is teaching Christianity, no? But he said Mr. Cook also came one day with Keshav Sen in a boat journey, and Sri Ramakrishna joined them. And that description in the Gospel is there. You will find a beautiful description. What Sri Ramakrishna is talking, everyone is mesmerized by his spiritual inspiration. So that is the description here. And he is also, see, in important, Pratap, what is it, Majumdar, no? Pratap Chandra Majumdar. Pratap Majumdar's brother, he came and wanted to stay in Dakshineshwar. So how Ramakrishna is very particular about the duties of life. His brother came and he does not want to do any job, no money earning and nothing. Okay, so have their children and wife, just put them to Pratap's brother. This is Pratap Hajra himself, no. It's a Pratap's brother. Here I think a Pratap Majumdar's brother. Anyhow, he came to Dakshineshwar. Sri Ramakrishna said, okay, he's coming for spiritual practice. But spiritual practice, not keeping your responsibilities done, spiritual practice is escapism. So he scolded. I came to know that he had left his wife and children with his father-in-law. And you are becoming a monk. Bah! So then he said, he has a whole brood of them. So I took him to task. And what did Ramakrishna said? Just fancy. He's the father of so many children. Will people from neighborhood feed them and bring them up? And he insisted, go back, get a job, earn money, bring them, take care of them. So this is very important point. That escapism is not spirituality. Whether you have your duties, that is to be done. If you have not married, okay, that's okay. But if you are married, you have a responsibility for your wife, for your children. So you cannot ignore. Or the wife should have responsibility for husband and children. So this is also very important. That is the teaching of the Sanatana Dharma. Eternal religion, what we call dharma. Everyone has a dharma. So one should have to do that. Otherwise you will not grow in spirituality, neither in worldly life. No. So be a good person, responsible person to do. That's the important here. That of course there is a way when your renunciation becomes very strong, then you can just leave everything. That is a very exceptional case. But normally many people try to escape. There are so many funny stories. So there was one boy, his parents came with the boy, and to a Swami he said, okay, Maharaj, please take this boy and make him a monk. And then he said, what is his studies? Oh, he cannot do anything to study. Oh, what about his work? And what is his specialization? Oh, he does not like to work anyway. So he is failure in everywhere. Then we make him a monk. And that means a useless guy become a monk. If he can do something, then why he will be a monk? So that's it. So he says that is not the point. Point that if you are in the responsible position, you have to do your duties. And dharmat hi juddhat, in the Bhagavad Gita it is said, dharmat hi juddhat, dharma juddha, that the right type of action in your life's particular dharma, in the life's position, you should perform that. And by performing that, you can realize God perfectly. That example there, Bhagavad Gita, the butcher story. The butcher was a butcher, and that is his way of earning. So he was doing, but he's a person of spiritual practice. So he does his all practices, and then do the job of selling meat. And naturally he kills the animal and then and sells that, and that is his earning. But he became a great teacher, Vedanta teacher. Bhagavad Gita, that Gita, which is instruction of that Veda, that is the book we read for Vedanta studies. So Vedanta Gita. So even the housewife, the yogi was meditating, that story, remember? A yogi was meditating under a tree, and there was a bird who dropping fell on his body or somewhere. And then he got so mad and he looked angrily towards the bird. And that looking at the bird, by his anger, the fire of anger, the bird get burnt. And then afterwards she thought that I am become big yogi power, no? By looking at someone I can burn him. And then he went to beg bhiksha. So went to a household to beg something. In India we go, monks or yogis will go to beg their meal. And then he said, so he begged food, and the one lady from a distance said, sir, please wait, I am serving my husband who is ill. So after taking care of him, I shall come to you. But he's a yogi, he has a yogic power. So he waited for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Then he became irritated. What? I am a great yogi, do not know. I have so much power, I can burn the bird. And she dares not take care of me. So feeling like that, but suddenly when that feeling came in the heart of the yogi, that lady from the inner house said, sir, this is not like burning a bird or anything. I am doing my duty. I am serving my ailing husband. After finishing, I will take care of you. And then yogi's eyes opened. That lady I have not seen me. And she didn't know that where I was sitting. And where a bird came and dropping fell upon my head, and I angrily looked at, and the bird burned. How she knows? Then after some time, he was patiently waiting, and his consciousness awakened. Then he said that, okay, mother, before giving me alms, tell me, how do you know that I have burned the bird or something? Well, I do not know, my child, why, how, but I only do my duty. As a wife, my duties I perform. That is my thing I have done in spiritual life, and that had given me the intuition. When your anger is happening, my heart spoke like that. I do not know, it spontaneously come. So that's the point. Here is the point that, and then he said, oh, then you are my guru. The yogi said, be my guru and teach me. Well, no, I cannot be your guru because you will have to go. I have so much things to do. I cannot. So you go to a butcher. You will go to the marketplace there and you will find a butcher. And he will be your guru. He thought, my God. A butcher who is so much brutally killing the animals and selling meat will be my teacher, a Vedanta teacher. And that's why he came. And he really found that he's selling like a businessman. This 1 pound is this much, give this money and this and that. And he said, I want some teachings from you in Vedanta. Then he said, how do you know me? Now one lady, this happened and she told me to come to you. Oh, is it so? Okay, you wait. And he finished his business of selling the meat, cleaning the blood and other things from the pan and cleaning the pan, etc., etc. And then said, come with me. So he went home. And when he went home, this butcher first went and took care of his father. What is to be done for his father, service, personal service. And then taking care of other, washing himself, and then he came and then attended to this yogi. And then what advice he gave, that is the Vedanta Gita. the Gita of Vyadho, the hunter. So, spirituality, what is the point? What Sri Ramakrishna is emphasizing, it is a age-old Indian tradition. Don't escape your duty. Of course, then escape your duty does not mean that don't be a monk. We need monks and nuns. Escape your duty, you say, my father is there, I will have to serve them, then how can I be a monk? No, that is a different call. That is also, you are a student, you are not so much advanced into earning money and supporting them. If they need, they will have to do that. But mainly it is for God you can sacrifice everything, but that urge should be sincere, not like that I told you just now. That he is good for nothing, therefore you make him a monk. If he cannot get a job, he does not want to study, he cannot do any physical work, he does not want to strain himself in serving anyone, so therefore be a monk. So dharma is a very important point. Sri Ramakrishna is emphasizing, Pratap's brother, that you are married, you have your children and your wife, you should go and search for a job. He does not want to go. Then Sri Ramakrishna insisted, go do your duties. By that you will actually attain your spiritual life. And now is a big question. Then Ramakrishna said, are you married? To M, the writer of the chronicler, is saying, are you married? Yes, sir. Then Sri Ramakrishna with a shudder, oh Ramlal, alas, he is married. It is very surprising statement. Are you married? And he said, married. In India those days, it was very natural. The boys and parents used to get the son and daughter married in an early age. That is just not marriage, and in the name marriage. The boy maybe 8, 9, 10 years, the girl maybe 6 years, 5 years, married. But that was not the real marriage. But anyhow, they get entangled into the world, and they become burden, because for within a few years they get a children. And when they become a father of a child, then they want to search for a job. So they have no scope to think about life's philosophy or anything. That's why that was a barrier for them to get so much married in early age. And particularly M was such a person, such a spiritual person. Ramakrishna saw in him the potential. He was thinking that he will be like Naren, no? Then he will do much work for the good of the world. So that was his intention. That's why he said, are you got married? And Ramakrishna said, oh Ramlala, aha, alas, he is married. Like one guilty of a terrible offense, M sat motionless, his eyes fixed on the ground, out of shyness. Oh my God, what have I done?
It's interesting that Rakhal also came married. M also came married. But Sri Ramakrishna freed Rakhal, but not M. So
Yeah.
some purpose. It's not that he could not become Naren. Naren is the one.
That's true, but he was thinking that if not married, then he will be more useful. He can give more time. See, if you become a monk, you need not have to do anything outside job. So you can 24 hours, you can dedicate. Ramakrishna's service, M could have written at least 10 volumes of gospel. So many things are still in the diary of M's diary, which is developed into this way by M. But there are so many, 16 such diaries were there, out of maybe 5 or 6, 3 or 4 have been translated into book form. And there's so much left. So it will be good, helpful for the whole world had it been all done. And anyhow, Sri Ramakrishna wanted that. It's a good instrument, could have been utilized better if it's not entangled into the maintenance of the family and school, going to school and college, and it has its purpose also. He collected students and made them monk. Sarvadevananda Swami said he first went to M, and M's life inspired him to become a monk. And he sent him to Belur Math, to the sadhus, and he used to train everyone. Anyone comes to M, knowing that he met Ramakrishna, so he used to send to them, go to Belur Math and see the Belur Math and report. Then when they come back, then what did you see? Oh, I went to Belur Math and I met this Swami, that Swami, and they are very kind. And no, don't go for that. When you go to Math, see when the sadhus are meditating. That time you see them, because they are tuned to God that time. Going and talking other things is not going to Belur Math. So it's to bring the focus, what is the purpose and how you can spiritualize your life by going to any holy place. So that's why M said, yes, married, and Ramakrishna shuddered and said, oh, Ramlal, nephew. This is Ramlal, his nephew. Alas, he is married. And like one guilty of terrible offense, M sat motionless, his eyes fixed on the ground. He thought, is it such a wicked thing to get married? The master continued, have you any children? And M this time could hear the beating of his own heart. He whispered in a trembling voice, yes, sir, I have children. And then he said, very sadly, Ramakrishna said, me. He even has children. Thus rebuked, M sat speechless. His pride had received a blow. After a few minutes, Sri Ramakrishna looked at him kindly and said affectionately, you see, you have certain good signs. I know them by looking at a person's forehead, his eyes, and so on. Tell me now, what kind of person is your wife? Has she spiritual attributes, or she is under the power of avidya? Here is a very important point. Ramakrishna explained why he is not satisfied with the way of Sri Ramakrishna is scolding him, married, children, etc. Ramakrishna could look at someone, look at the face, understand what is there. He said, it is like as we see the things in a glass case. No? You put some plates, cups, or saucer, etc. in a glass case in some home, or some images of different gods and goddesses in a glass case. Though there is a glass case, the glass is the difference, but you can see through. So Ramakrishna could look at someone and see through what is in the mind of that person. So you see, you have certain good signs. So that was the reason I know them by looking at person's forehead. He used to weigh the hands also, and said, yes, you will be good. You do little practice, it will happen. But what he used to see, how much is the weight of the arm, heavy or light, something like that. Our Premeshananda Maharaj, when I went to visit him, he started, give your, come, and he took my hand and like, I went, my God, what he's doing now? To understand whether there is a potential of becoming a monk or something like that, good nature. I do not know what he checked, but he did with me. So, you see, you have good signs, I know them by looking at person's forehead, his eyes, and so on. Tell me now, what kind of person is your wife? How is your wife? Meaning, not for any other reason, I wanted to know whether She is helping you in your spiritual journey, or she is forcing you to go away from God. What type? Avidya or Vidya? And A.M. said, she is all right, but I am afraid she is ignorant. And now another scolding. A master with evident displeasure, and you are a man of knowledge? To this time, M.'s conception had been that one got knowledge from books and schools. Later on, he gave up this false conception. He was taught that to know God is knowledge and not to know Him is ignorance. When Sri Ramakrishna exclaimed, "And you are a man of knowledge," M.'s ego was again badly shocked. Normally, in those days, women's education was not available in Indian context because of Islamic invasion. The women were all kept for protection in the inner house, and also society's rules came. They are not open to the public much. So out of modesty. So that's why they didn't get any chance. But they are not ignorant. But Mahem's idea is that who is a person of knowledge, who goes to school, who reads psychology, philosophy and all this, they are called the man of knowledge. But he has no idea. Sri Ramakrishna meant knowledge means knowing God. If you know God, then you are a knowledgeable person. If you don't know, you are an ignorant person. Even if you have so much of degrees and your educational qualification may be so high, but you are ignorant because you don't know God. So that is the emphasis. And from that perspective, Sri Ramakrishna scolded him. "Oh, you are a man of knowledge. That means you have read some books. And she is ignorant." So one place, she is as if accusing the wife. Another time he is accusing him, the M. That means, and only he is putting out the right attitude of the meaning of. So his ego, M's ego is broken, because reading books of is not knowledge. It is intellectual knowledge. And knowing God is the real knowledge. Now, Master, well, do you believe in God with form or without form? This is again a question. Most of the people, because when they mean movement, this Brahma movement, and God with form or with some symbol is considered idol worship. So, that's why what is your concept? What do you like? The formless or form? M, rather surprised, said to himself, how can one believe in God without form when one believes in God with form? If you believe in this, then how can you believe the other, which is contradictory to that? That is our normal logic says. And if one believes in God without form, how can one believe that God has a form? Can these two contradictory ideas be true at the same time? Can a white liquid like milk be black? It is like contradictory. If it is unlimited, how can you see that I worship the unlimited as also the limited? And if you say unlimited you are worshipping, how can you say I like the unlimited? So this is a contradictory thing. So it was in his mind, he was thinking how this can be reconciled. Now, Master, M said, Sir, I like to think God as formless. Yeah, because of the education, British education, formless God. And Ramakrishna appreciates. Ramakrishna says, Master said, very good. It is enough to have faith in either aspect. Either you love God in a form, or you don't love in a form, but the formless aspect, that is also good. But you believe in God without form, that is quite all right. But never for a moment think that this alone is true and all else is false. Remember that God with form is just as true as God without form. Hey, this is contradiction is coming. Ramakrishna says, remember that God with form is just as true as God without form. But hold fast to your own conviction. Hey, this is the solution of today's conflicting world. God is with form, you believe? Okay, do that. And practice. But not to say, who have no faith in God without form, or have faith in, they are wrong. Or they should not say, I think God is without form, those are having form, kill them. Or they are in a wrong path. Who are you to say that? And they are not contradictory. Mostly, this is the contribution of Sri Ramakrishna in this modern age, that they are not contradictory but complementary. God with form, if you have faith, do your practice and enjoy the spiritual life through that practice. But don't say others are wrong. You move in your path. You are traveling, as I give the example, you are trying to climb a mountain. But reaching the mountain top, there are many trails. So if one is going to the eastern trail, he will have the vision, and the vista will be different. Someone is moving in the western trail, they will have a different vista. But you cannot say, mine is the only road and there is no other road to go reach God. As God is infinite, there are infinite number of ways. Swami Vivekananda said, sects are not bad, but sectarianism is bad. Sect is, Swami said, everyone should have a religion of their own. It will be easy if you can move on your own inclinations. You like to worship God in a particular way, let that be your way. But think others are also moving towards God. Your path is the only path and others are wrong. This is not spiritual. It is not making good to the world. Rather, it is bringing again and again bloodshed and danger to the whole world. So, that's why Sri Ramakrishna's this message is very important. Remember that if it is enough to have faith in either aspect, you believe in God without form, that is quite all right, but never for a moment think that this alone is true and all else is false. Remember that God with form is just as true as God without form, but hold fast to your own conviction. बैठिए अपना ठाम सबसे रसिए, there is a Hindi couplet, सबसे रसिए सबसे बसिए सबसे लीजिए नाम, हाँ जी करते रहिए बैठिए अपना ठाम. You hold on to your own ground, and meet with every type of devotees, every type of people, and say, oh yes, you are right. Yes, true, it is true for you. You know that route, you travel by that. When you go to the airport, there is always a conflict. Shall you go to the freeway and shall you go on the surface road? Surface road through Labria or this way? There is only one way. So many ways are there. I say, no, I will go this way because I am going from so many years. This is the known path. Okay, your path is your path. You cannot say others cannot go the other way. And no, let us go and fight. That means you fight and don't go reach the destination. God is not your goal, only fighting is the goal. So you get into fight. So this spiritual life also same. My path is the only way. My way is highway. So that is the way the world suffers so much. The assertion that both are equally true amazed him, because he studied the Western philosophies and Western science more, Western way of religion of the Christianity. So there is no hope, worship. And that's why even now, where there is so sectarianism is more dominant, they create so much trouble. Conversion happens because of this. That your conversion is conversion of the heart. Convert your heart, what is going on worldly, make it Godward. That is the conversion. But here remaining same anger, frustration, everything. I am trying to convert you. That is a superficial thing. It has got no depth in it. There is a value of it. There is a value. It has one very important value is that I love this path, I love Christ, and I got peace. You also are suffering. Why not come to my path and see? You will find joy. That's a call out of love, but not with a sword in hand or in some enticing with some gifts and fooling the poor people and converting them for few days to create confusion in their mind. We actually, Ramakrishna Mission suffers so much in different areas of our activity, particularly the tribal areas in the eastern part of India. There are many poor people, tribal people. Ramakrishna Mission goes and puts their, they don't disturb their faith. They do the worship as they do, their celebration, everything. Only they put Ramakrishna as a symbol of harmony. And there comes the contradiction. The Christian missionaries go there and they want to convert them into their religion. How they will do? They are poor people. They say, okay, you will get this benefit, you will get this money and all these advantages. So, and my, their story, shall I say a story? Story is that schoolboys, or maybe up to grade 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 say, they are collected from different villages. The school is distant. So the Christian fathers, they are very helpful for the tribal people. So one story is a fact. So they collected so many children and the bus was going and suddenly bus stopped. And he asked the tribal boys or all those boys who are different background, okay, now you call your God. Call your God so that this car becomes started. They are trying so much, it is not happening. By God's grace it will happen. So you call your God. So they started calling God, someone maybe in their, whatever their name, one by one calling. And there's again starting, it's not starting, it's not starting. So it went on half an hour and every school is getting late, delayed. Okay boys, now call, tell the name of Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ said, Jesus Christ, 3 times you say. And said, and miracle happened. The engine started and then, see, Christ is powerful than other gods and goddesses. So like that impacting in the mind of the innocent children, that conversion policy. It is not truthful, but anyhow, that is the way people feel that is they are doing Lord's work. I'm not going to say what it is bad or good, but fact is like that. But that's why Ramakrishna Mission sometimes is very enemy to these preachers, because the boys and girls are taught in our school in liberalism. I say, you have your own faith, but respect others. And here you give up everything and convert into my path. So they didn't like that, and therefore they are very angry with the Ramakrishna schools, and so much trouble comes occasionally. But anyhow, this is a practical demonstration why Ramakrishna said that you have your faith, don't disturb anyone's faith, mainly. You can supplement. Vedanta always supplement, because on the background of Vedanta you can understand any religion. Many people tell me that I understand Christianity now more coming to Vedanta, because what is Christ and who is He, it can be understood. That infinite consciousness, the same reality appearing for the good of humanity. No contradiction. That's why this idea should be taken and bring harmony for the world. AJ. Master said, very good. It is just as true as God without form, so but hold fast to your faith. That assertion that both are equal truly amazed M. He had never learned this from his books. Thus his ego received a third blow. But since it was not yet completely crushed, he came forward to argue with the master a little more. He said, Mem said, Sir, suppose one believes in God with form. Certainly he is not the clay image. Clay image. Because you are worshipping Mother Kali, is made of clay. You said, don't say, oh clay image, give me love, give me devotion. What you say, oh mother? No, that clay part is forgotten. But it is a symbol of the mother. So you are asking mother. So he says that people do not know, all these people who are worshipping, they do not know. It is the Divine Mother. So you should teach them. Master, interrupting. But why clay? It is an image of spirit. It is the symbol of consciousness. Satchidananda, concentrated Satchidananda. So Ramakrishna point, why are you thinking it is clay? It is made of clay, but it is symbol. All spiritual practice is symbolic, no? Whatever you meditate, a cross is a symbol. And the half moon and with a star, that is a symbol. All are symbols of spirituality, but why it will be it is made of metal or clay or stone? Why are you talking about that? Master, then M could not quite understand the significance of the image spirit. But sir, he said to the master, one should explain to those who worship the clay image that it is not God, and that while worshipping it, they should have God in view and not the clay image. One should not worship clay. Again, his emphasis is on the clay. But no one, we don't go to worship this temple in a, oh photo. Do you say, oh photo? Before going that, we say, oh Thakur, oh Lord, oh Ma, we say, oh Ma. We don't say a photographic paper with some ink, something has come out, oh photograph with ink and paper, give me liberation. Do we say like that? We all say Ma, we may say Thakur, no? God, Lord. So that is the point. Sri Ramakrishna says that why it should be clay image, master. That is your one hobby of your Calcutta people. Calcutta people means educated people with little learning. You have understood everything, philosophy, and those who don't read English books. That's why Ramakrishna came in this age without going to school. He didn't go even more than addition in arithmetic. He learned up to addition, and subtraction he could not learn. Uniqueness of Ramakrishna. He went to school, 1 + 1, 2, that is okay. 2 + 5, 7, that is okay. But 5 - 2, minus he does not, his brain starts reeling. And there his education ended. So, why? He showed it to the world. Intellectual knowledge is not necessary. To know God, you need not have to read 1,000 books. If you read books, your brain gets cluttered with so many. What are the books? These books are written by some person. And that person, how he had understood his understanding, you are reading the understanding of XYZ. And you are taking that as philosophy. Misunderstood. Why misunderstood? Unless you see God, you cannot talk about God correctly. Unless you have experience of visiting one place in your own person, your description will be imperfect than others who have gone there. So, those who have seen God, those who have experienced God, read their books. That's why it is said, read the Upanishads. This is who has written the book? No one has written the book. Whatever we do for us, before my name is first. One painting, name, who? One poem, whom? One article, though collecting from here and there and stealing everything. And my name, I have written that. Now it has become very easy because Google search or our artificial intelligence, they can in a split second prepare a talk and lecture. And I can hide that and say, I have to give. And when I give, we say our. So always I comes, which is a collection of others' experience. But when his experience, see Ramakrishna, he didn't go to anywhere. See how Keshav Sen and people of Calcutta during those days, big doctors and man of position, district judge, that type of people coming and sitting in near his feet. What the magic? What is the mesmerism? He has not read any book, but he has the wisdom, knowledge, because he has seen God. So the point is that knowledge for seeing God, you don't need to read book. You need your heart, love, and as Ramakrishna said, crying for God, praying to God, purifying the heart, selfless work, all this. So Master Sarpli says, that is one hobby of your Calcutta people, giving lectures and bringing others to the light, no? Nobody ever stops to consider how to get the light himself. Who are you to teach others? That is also in our American culture. Our American boys and girls with few days reading this book, that book, that book, then you say, I will change the world. That's a good spirit. But actually, it is a good spirit, I shall do something. But it is not. To build up your muscle, your experience, then you can say something. What will you do? How many ideas are there in the world? Reading books only. ওই জন্য Shankaracharya, even a person like Shankaracharya, is talking that your intellectual jugglery, when you speak with very flowery language, you can present your talk, lecture, vocabulary is very deep and profound. Like that, you can make it very enjoyable to others. And that is enjoyment of your head, brain, intellectual joy. So, but not for mukti, not for liberation. So, study of scripture is necessary up to certain point. But focus should be God realization. Experience. That's why Ramakrishna didn't like in Calcutta, in Ramakrishna's time, there are so many preachers, self-made preachers, they originated. And they had hundreds of groups of people. They are teaching in their small groups here, and all are confused because they are reading the books and talking. But no one experiencing that. So Ramakrishna came as an example to the world, whole Western world, or the world of intelligent people, that intelligence has value, but it cannot give you liberation. Freedom of all bondage.
And now also you have so many groups, so many YouTube channels, so many...
That's the problem. That's the problem, no? That's why so many questions comes. See, if you ask some question, there are hundreds of responses. Which response shall I take? That's why in our tradition it is said, read the books written by people who have seen God. Read Bible. It will not be conflicting. You read the Dhammapad, Buddha's message. Read the Upanishads. Read the Bhagavad Gita. Finish them. Read the life of Christ, Buddha's. Read Ramakrishna's life. Read Holy Mother's life. Read the direct disciples who have realized God, their lives. No? Those who have seen God, they have experienced God. Their experience, we can follow them, and gradually it will clear our mind. Otherwise, a person, as another scripture says, that blind leading the blind. So it does not take anyone into illumination. It rather blocks the spiritual journey. So, He who is the Lord of the universe will teach everyone. He alone teaches us, who has created this universe, who has made the sun and moon, men and beasts and all other beings, who has provided means for their sustenance, who has given children, parents, and endowed them with love to bring them up. The Lord has done so many things. Will He not show the people the way to worship Him? If they need teaching, then He will be the teacher. He is our inner guide. Suppose there is an error in worshipping. Ramakrishna's second argument. Suppose there people are worshipping the clay image. No? You need not have to go and teach. Suppose there is an error in the worshipping the clay image. Does not God know? Does not God know that through it He alone is being invoked? He will be pleased with that very worship. Why should you get a headache over it? You had better try to know knowledge and devotion yourself. It is given an example. Suppose a baby is calling upon mom. And mom, she cannot say mother, she cannot say mom. Even the boy or girl can just express some noise, some sound. Mother understands. The baby is calling me. So God is our mother. So He understands if we call, even in mistaken way. Language is not the point, heart is the point. How we cry for God, how we really feel for His absence. So that should be practiced more, and not the intellectual knowledge, and not to teach. We always take the teacher's role. That's very easy. In Hindi also they say, Guru mele lakh lakh, chela na mile ek. Guru means the teacher. Teachers are available everywhere. Suppose you say, I have little heartburn, and 20 people will give 20 advice. Because everyone knows something. But the doctor remains silent. I have seen some places, the doctor is silent, all are giving opinions. So, that is, we have to understand that Guru is easy, because to give advice is easy. But Chela is very rare. To be a student is very rare. Let me end with a story. So, one boy wanted to be getting knowledge of Vedas. So he went and to learn meditation and practice, went to the Guru's house. And first of all, he's an intelligent boy. He just prostrated the Swami, the monk or the yogi, whoever. He said, Sir, could you tell me what is the duty of a teacher and what is the duty of a student? The duty of a teacher, that holy man said, the duty of a teacher will give advice. And they relax and advise because he meditates and those things, he will teach that. Achha, what is the duty of the student? Oh, student, he will have to get up in the early morning, take a shower at that time, and after taking shower, then you have to meditate for such and such time. Then as soon as the sun comes out, then they will have to go to procure some firewood. Then they bring the firewood, then make a dough of chapati or tortilla. He will have to do, and prepare some vegetables or something to serve the Guru and take care of the Guru. And list is increasing. Then the student said, "Stop, to mere ko pehle Guru bana lijiye." So sir, please make me a Guru first. It is too much work for becoming a chela. Better I get to make me a Guru first. So that is the point. Guru, we can give advice, but to follow is difficult, and that we should be careful about that. And Ramakrishna wants that mind your own business, so that this life becomes fruitful. Study is good if it helps you in spiritual life. Anything is good. Bhajan is good if it helps you to go inward. But if it makes you egotistic, if it makes you that you know everything, you have nothing to learn, nothing to do, and you have read this book, that book, that book, that book, that book. Yeah. But that is book. But that is not yours. It is someone's thought. You may like that thought, but that is not the truth. Truth is that when you see it, Ramakrishna said, talking about milk and seeing milk and drinking milk and assimilating. The purpose is to assimilate the drink. So spirituality should be like that. And in our life, we as the Ramakrishna followers, we should be very respectful for every religion. Anyone practicing any path, that's a path. I respect that. My path may not be the same, but I have my deep respect for my path, and I respect others' path also. Not to disturb anyone in his journey to spirit. If it is wrong, Ramakrishna said, God will tell. Someone in your life will come, they will just give you some hint, and you will understand, oh, this is the direction I have to go. It is God's will work. But my will, I understand everything, I read books, I understand more. That leads to ego. And that does not lead us to the realization of God, rather it helps us to move in our intellectual level. Okay? Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. So tomorrow, whose class tomorrow? Dekho? Tomorrow? Mahendranath? Mahajogananda. Acha. Karma Yoga or what? Oh, hymn song. Khandana Bhava. Oh, Khandana Bhava. He will explain the evening prayer we do, what is the meaning in Sanskrit, then he will talk on that subject. Okay? So some questions now. Which version of Uddhava Gita and Bhagavat is good? Uddhava Gita is a book which is translated by Swami Madhavananda. He was one of our General Secretary Maharaj and President. His book is very good. It is under the Bhagavat. And Bhagavat is also not our tradition. We like that Madras Mott have one publication which I read. It is called, translated by Swami Tapasyananda. That book is good. What does God want from us? God wants from us, He does not want anything. Rather, we need to think of God for our solution of our suffering. Actually, God has created equally everyone, but it is our karma, our desire leads us to different direction. And going to different direction, we find incompleteness, imperfection. So when we turn back to God, then that is our gain. And it is our need. The world is full of suffering, pain, anguish, anxieties, worries, tension, crisis of financial, health. So much is there. We need God for our own reason. And God wants to think so that we can become identified with the divine, so that we can go beyond our bodily suffering, mental suffering and pain. What is the difference between God realization and self-realization? I don't think much. God realization is a word used for the devotees. God is there, I will realize Him. Self-realization is self-unfoldment. Who am I? The same goal will be reached by devotional practice, loving God, praying to God, weeping for God, doing japa, meditation. And this is another way, I, in the path of analysis, I am not the body, not the mind. That is called self-knowledge. What is the alternative to Sankalp Sankalpa Shakti, is prayer an option? What is the alternative to Sankalpa Shakti?
Because yesterday he asked the question that how can I improve my determination to do more japa?
Oh, acha, acha.
Increase my Sankalpa Shakti.
Oh, acha, acha.
Today he is asking the same question in different ways.
Acha.
He's asking, is prayer an alternative
Of
to
the Sankalpa.
to self-resolve?
Yeah. Prayer is a good thing, always. That gives us connection with God. The whole Christian world is prayer, prayer, prayer. Islamic world, prayer, prayer, prayer. It connects us with God. And in Hinduism also, devotional, one of the most important practice in devotion is prayer. As if prayer also means talking, as if you are talking to God who is inside you. And Sankalpa, Shakti means it is Shakti. Shakti means what? Power. Sankalpa means resolution. I shall realize God, I shall do that. This is called the Sankalpa, Shakti. But Sankalpa Shakti, we may say, I like this, I want this, but ultimately it is God's grace. That's why prayer is, so it can be substituted. Sometimes we should be little aggressively say, I will do it. No. If I don't do meditation, japa, that's I will do. I will do 10,000, I will do 5,000. This is Sankalpa. Sankalpa means resolution. This is my, and there is a power. When I assert myself, I will do this today. So that is a power. But sometimes even we do, but I cannot succeed, I don't find joy. Then we have to say, oh Lord, please help me. I am trying to do that, but I cannot. So they are not contradictory, but one goes along with the other. Okay? So tomorrow then Swami Mahajogananda, please come in his class. Om.
In philosophy of Ishvara, Swamiji says mind, its highest reading of the absolute is the personal God. Then in realization, if cats had God, it would be cat. If the cow has a God, it would be a cow. So I'm a man, so my God is a man.
Yeah. No, that is from the beginning stage. Suppose every religion, when it thinks of God, we think God means there will be a human being with 2 arms and 2 legs in the heavenly abode. He will be like that and he will be helping us. Gigantic power, infinite strength, so he can redeem our suffering and this. This is our human concept. So he is taking to the mind of a cow. If the cow thinks what is their God, there is a big cow with 4 legs, with a mouth like this, and it is so powerful that all other power will be nullified by that. So this is the image of our highest. I can think of God, 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 God. This is the highest. And highest God is the humanization, our concept. But when it broadens further, then it becomes formless.
So the impersonal is more complete.
Impersonal, but impersonal also, as I always emphasize, what is impersonal? We cannot think of any impersonal thing.
But it is higher.
Higher, though intellectually higher, but impersonal and personal, there is not much difference.
Yes.
It is also my mind is creating an image of God, and that is also image, not with the name and form, with personalized. It is a little expanded.
How would you describe the difference between personality and principles?
Personality and principle, that they go together. Personality is an expression of the principle, and principle is the reality of the personality. Personality is what? This is a person. We are seeing that flesh and blood and body, but it is, if it is all the Satchidananda ocean, so every wave is nothing but the ocean water. So what is the wave? It's a personal. Its implication is Satchidananda Brahman. And what is the Satchidananda Brahman? In the person. So two have connection with each other. So who starts with their form, let them go to the form to understand that, get absorbed into that wave of form, Christ, Buddhas, Ramas, etc. And then they will find nothing in them but Satchidananda. And those who are worshipping Satchidananda as the starting point, that they think of an ocean or some space like that. But that is not what is Brahman. So that is also limitation, that is also saguna. sakara. But they think it is nirakara. We cannot think of anything which is formless, infinite. We cannot do that. But mind is limited. But mind expands by spiritual practice. Purified means mind expansion of the mind happens. When it extends to the utmost limit, then it is called Nirguna. And who will say that is Nirguna, it will merge into that oneness. Okay, thank you all. Jai Ma, Jai Ma.